All right. Welcome to the Black Businessman Podcast. My name is Clive Morrison. And on this podcast, we talk about helping Black men grow their business, interviewing Black men about their business, and just where they're at right now, where they would like to get to, and steps to get there. So we do a coaching session where we say, hey, what can we actually do to get you to where you want to be in your business, where you are right now, and just talk about the steps to get there, right? So we want to collaborate. Today I have Mr. Watson on, met Mr. Watson in my day job, which is the cleaner business, and came out there, had a great discussion, and we talked about it, and he decided to come on. So I'm very appreciative, and thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you for having me.
All right, Mr. Watson, tell us about it yourself, and just tell us about your business and a little background of you.
Yeah. So I'm a trader. So I trade the financial market. So that is the stock market, the options market, as well as the futures market. And so that's what I do. Outside of that, I also homeschool my daughter. So that takes up like the majority of my time. So I kind of trade around our homeschool schedule. And then, so what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to get more into consulting. Right now, I do have 3 clients that I consult on a consistent basis and have been. And yeah, so that's what I'm looking to get into more because, again, like I'm all about flexibility, being able to have my time back. And so that's like really important to me. So that's kind of like an introduction of who I am and where it is that I am currently.
Okay. And all right, so great to hear that trading futures options. Not a trader myself. We were talking about that, right?
Mhm.
And just that's why there's experts out there, right? And I always think about in our community, and this is why I try to highlight and bringing men together is that we are all experts in something. And somebody always says, hey, somebody was saying to me one time, you need to learn everything. And I said, that would be impossible. I
Yeah.
said, we have to trust everybody. That's like saying, oh, well,
Yes.
I broke my foot. Instead of going to the doctor who's been going for it for 10 years, I'm going to try to learn and read all the text to, and I tell people, I said, it's going to be hard to understand. You don't have context. You're not going to know if you get it right the first time around, right? And then you still need a consultant to say, hey, does this look right? Does this x-ray look right? Does this bandage look right? and, but we don't equate that with everyday life, with all the things. We think that we can watch a YouTube video and we don't understand the depths of something, right? To understand it. So today, she's sleeping, right? I got you. I got you. So today, what would be a successful coaching session with you today? What would success look like to you?
So success for me would look, as far as for a coaching session, would look like um, getting some clarity, getting a full understanding of what it is that I'm building with the coaching offer, because of the fact that my clients vary. What I do is pretty much consistent as far as helping people to strategize how to efficiently uh, set goals and accomplish those goals. But as far as like it can vary as to how what it is that I'm coaching a person on. So whether that be through like as far as athletic feats, whether that be through business feats, whether that be through actually teaching someone how to trade, it all connects for me as far as kind of through the lens of productivity and goal setting, goal attaining, and then setting new goals. And so more so kind of getting uh, something like uh, kind of brought to the point of like a point of clarity around what the goal is um,
For your
for
business, right?
being a productivity coach.
Got you. So yeah, we talked about that offer, right? You were saying you were a trader and that was your day thing, and but you found yourself that most times it wasn't even just trading, it was productivity. People liked your schedule. We talked about scheduling and people were enjoying your scheduling. So more of your clients, the 3 clients you were talking about having now are more productivity people than people who are just who are traders, right?
Correct. Correct.
So right now, what's your current offer inside of your business?
So right now, I don't currently have an offer because the kind of the way that it has been set up is that like I really like get a thrill out of helping people, and so it's just people would hear me speak and say, "Oh man, like this would be incredible if," and then okay, well yeah, let me help, and so that's kind of what it's been up to this point, and I do want to make it more of a business because I do know that what it is that I do could help people, can help people, and so I want to actually come up with an offer. So right now, currently, there is no offer. It's just it's been based off of where a person is and where it is that they're seeking to get to, and helping them to get there, and then even a lot of times as well because of the level of productivity, they'll continue because now we're setting new goals. So now we're having
Mhm.
new things to go and attain, which yeah, that's right down my like wheelhouse because I mean that's been my whole life as far as setting goals, hitting, attaining them, and then setting new goals, attaining them, and then setting new goals. So
Yeah, definitely. One of the things, so want to hear this correct, is just helping people get clarity on their productivity, whatever their goals are, because goal setting is very hard too, right? What goals do I go after? What goals are the right ones to go after, right? And then being productive in those goals. And we want to set an offer for that. And just for
mhm,
everybody out there, if you don't know what an offer is, it's basically what is it that I can say to somebody here? This is what I can give you in exchange for your resources, right? For your money. And it's like, hey, this is the offer that I'm presenting to you. I can get you these results. So if I get you these results, are you willing to exchange your money? Right? Is this result that I'm going to get you more valuable than the money you're going to exchange for me? So if I give you $1,000, would you say I have to exceed $1,000 worth of value? At least meet it, but we want to exceed it. I always try to say at least 3 to 5x the value, right, of what somebody's getting from my offer. All right.
mhm.
And so right now, if somebody came to you, what would be the tangible result that they could get out of this productivity?
Yeah, so the tangible result that I'm helping the people currently with, one of them in particular is a very well established person at a major corporation. And so essentially, what it is that I assist her with and assist her in doing is accomplishing financial goals that she has for herself. So she
Mhm.
has an outline of what it is that she wants to do, an outline of where it is that she wants to be. And we set goals, we set markers for where it is that she wants to go and to be. And then once we hit certain ones, we set new goals. And so the way that I've been able to help is that oftentimes what would happen is that the goal would be a goal that is too far away to stay motivated towards it, and so it's kind of fine tuning that wheel to make sure that the goals that are being set are um, attainable, so that the motivation to continue going and the goals aren't so far away. Because sometimes people will set goals that are great goals to attain, but they're like further away goals. And so whenever a goal is too far away, sometimes people lose motivation in getting towards the goal. So they need little markers along the way to continue to motivate them like, hey, I'm still moving in the right direction. These are indicators that let me know that I'm moving in the right direction towards this larger goal. So um, that's kind of how things have been set up. And then I also have someone else who is an entrepreneur, and with this individual being an entrepreneur, what she has patented products, and so with her patented products, I'm helping her to actually scale. Because of kind of the knowledge that I have behind and in the area of marketing, and so that's kind of like another way where it's like, okay, why would I want to exchange resources for what it is that you're offering to me? It's because literally money is being made by what's being paid. So,
Yeah, definitely. No. So, yeah, and of course, right? It's either, and I tell people all the time, is that either I'm going to help you make money or I'm going to help you save time so you can make more money,
yes.
right? So those are the two things that we want to be able to do is either I'm going to help you make money or I'm going to help you save time to go make money. So having this, do you have an ideal, who's your ideal person that would benefit the most from your service?
Yeah, the person that would benefit the most from my services are people who are currently making money. And when I say making money, they're already established in their career. They're already established in their field. They, if you will, have their life in the direction that they want their life to go. And now they're looking to streamline their life even more. They're looking to make their life more efficient. So this isn't for the person who is trying to figure out their life, because there would need to be um, if you will, a higher ticket offer for the person trying to
Hmm.
figure out their life to help them kind of put all the pieces of their life together. But this is more so for the person who is established. They don't necessarily kind of there's no variance, if you will, or whether they're married or not, have kids or not, but more so they um, have their life together as in they have a job or a career, or they're an entrepreneur. They're already making money, consistent money, that they know is coming in, versus someone who's seeking to become established, because the person who is seeking to become established.
The ideal client, a lot of people look at the ideal client and we want to say, all right, who would benefit most from this and who can afford our service, right?
Mhm.
And so you're saying people who are clear. And and a lot of times we get confused because we think of the ideal client as somebody who is as they look like this type of person, right? But it's more of a psychology,
Yeah.
right? It's more the psychological. So if I'm hearing you correctly, the psychology would be a person who is already making money, they are establishing their careers, and they're able and they know where they want to go to. They're just like, yo, what's the best way to get there? Right. I have a lot of options to get there. I just don't know what the best way to get there is. Right. And then now that we figured out the best way to get there, how do I actually make sure I'm hitting goals? What do goals look like? Right. That's what you let them get clear about. Right. What do good goals look like? How far out should they be? Keeping me accountable. Right. That's another thing because it's easy to lie to ourselves. And just so having that offer and coming back. And the other part you named was a great thing, was that what don't we want? Right?
Mhm.
What kind of people, who is this not for? Right? And we want to, because people will come to you and be like, I want to be more productive. And you're like, but you need to go get your life clear first.
Yeah.
You need to go get established in something. You need to go get skills, right?
Mhm.
You're right now, you're just not even in a position where you're able to benefit from productivity
Yeah.
because you're not even clearing your life. So you need to just go get so we have a list and a chart that says, hey, what are we clear on? And what are we clear on, and what we are not clear on, and what we want to do.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this up here. Just bringing up this ideal client profile
Mhm.
and just looking at this right here. So another so having that you seem pretty clear on that, who you want, and where do you think the problem is about the offer presented? What do you think that would be actually? What do you think that pricing? Where do you look at that at, and what is the? So before we get to pricing, what would be the overall program? Would be 8 weeks? Would it be a day? Would it be a what? How long would this be, and how would they get maximum results?
Yeah, I think that the program, if quantified in that way, I think it'd be a 90-day program, because kind of all of the best books that I've read about habits, habit formation, is that it takes about 90 days in order to form those habits. As far as if you want to kind of stop old habits and then start and create new habits, then it's going to take about 90 days. So I would say a 90-day program as far as for someone to be introed in, and then doing a monthly after that. So again, it will be on the person how quickly they want to get the results, see the results. Because some people, once they get those results, then they'll say, "Oh, thank you so much for your help, your assistance. I got it from here. Like you've helped me to kind of see things clearly." Because again, we're dealing with people that are established, people that understand a lot of the basics of life, and so with that, 3 months is going to be all that many of them need. Whereas some others, maybe they didn't, or maybe they did achieve their end goal, end result as well, but they're saying, "Hey, I have these other things that have now been brought to the surface as a result of this help and assistance that I received during these 90 days of this productivity assistance." And so now on a monthly basis, we can continue to assist them and help them with that.
Yeah, definitely. So, with your ideal client profile, what is it that you would be able to say now that you said that they did it for 90 days, excuse me. Now they did it for 90 days. Would there be a back end offer on it, or would we just stay with or after 90 days, how would that conversation go?
Yeah, so I think my back end offer would actually be live. So doing something live. So we talked about you spoke about that accountability piece. So the ability to actually meet people in person, really be able to shake people's hands, talk to them, have conversations live and in person. There is nothing like that. And I think that one of the things that happened with COVID is that it kind of took that away in many ways. And ever since COVID has now, we're living like post COVID, now people don't think that meeting people in person is like a necessity or is like something that's necessary or something that's even important anymore, because it's like we had to do a couple of years without seeing people in person. So now seeing people in person is seen as like this luxury, instead of like a necessity. But there are so many studies that show that we need people, we need human interaction, we need human interaction as it pertains to goal setting and accomplishing goals and accountability. So we need other people. So understanding those things, the back end offer for me, because again, I want it to be something that's consistent. I'm not trying to make a killing off of anybody. I just want it to be worth my time and worth my while to do it. And so, in that, the back end offer would be the live, like a live event where we're all together, we're meeting one another, we'll have dinners and things like that. And have teaching, have other professionals come out as far as in different fields coming out as well. That would be for me the back end offer. For me, it would more so just be the front end offer to a monthly, and then for those that would be interested, the live event, because even sometimes people come to the live event for the first time, as far as finding out who it is that you are, because they were recommended the live event from someone, or someone shared it with them, like, oh man, I need to check this out. And so that would be
So,
the setup.
okay, and that would be the back end offer because they would have a live end. So I'm gonna say two caveats here. I think that with that you could have an event, right? Where instead of being the back end offer, it would be an event, right? Instead of saying, "Hey,
Okay.
that's just
Okay.
the back end offer," we have a live. No, we have a quarterly. You're part of this membership now. You
Okay.
paid this thing full time, and now every quarter we have a live event
Nice.
where past customers, new customers all come in. If you're not part of, so let me start from the two parts where the offer would be at. Would be my high ticket offer where it's like, hey, we're going to drill down for 90 days and we're going to develop you a total
Yeah.
productivity system. Right?
Mhm.
This will last you for the rest of your life, right? This
Mhm.
productivity system, we're going to get your habits down. We're going to get the ways you're going to grow down. We're going to say hey, accountability. We're going to do everything you need to have a total productivity system. So you're always hitting and exceeding your goals. That's our total productivity system. All right. So,
Mhm.
and you're going to have me every week. We can say we can either have a group or one on one. And we can upsell that offer. Hey, if you don't like group coaching, I do have a one on one platform that we have there, and
Mhm.
saying that that will be the next tier. Then on the back end, I would have a monthly where it's, hey, you can either sign up for my monthly one on one or my monthly group coaching where we just be accountable. You
Mhm.
already have the system. All you want is to check in and say, hey, we have a dashboard where everybody comes in and says, hey, you know what? This is what I'm working on this week. These are my
Mhm.
goals for this week and these are the activities that I'm going to do this week. And that's what I'm actually going to do. Then another upsell would be, hey, anybody can come to this live event, right? But if you're a member, if you're an active member, you get 80% off, right? Or 90% off.
Mhm.
If you're a
Mhm.
former member, you get 50% off. And if you're not somebody, you got to buy the tickets, right? And
Mhm.
that would be my experience because that would be something that I get people in. And because the experience, because how do we do lead generation for this productivity, right? And that's through the events. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I would have it more where it's an event talking about it through my content. People would see the content and they would never want to sign up for the high ticket. But you're like, hey, it's just $100, $200 to come to this event, and then people can also sign up for the experience. And then they're mingling and mixing with all the other
Yes.
people who have been successful in your program,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that would be my three parts of my offer right there, where I would say, hey, you know what? It's the high ticket, right? Whatever that price point would be made, a monthly back end coaching, And from the back end coaching, so we would say, hey, this will be the offer. The first program, productivity, Watson's productivity program, the monthly accountability, and then we would have on top of that, the last part would be the events. And that event would be a mixture of lead generation and customer appreciation. So people who are currently in there, they can just come to the event. People who are past, they can get 50% off. And who have seen you online, producing your content would be able to just would be able to come to the event, buy tickets, and then, and that way they could be able to come in. Right. And you have a lead generation system. They're intermingling. You could bring up customer testimonials on there, how things have changed people's lives. Hey, I want to bring up Susan. She was one of my first customers. And how does being more productive helped you, in your life? And those are the things that you could do actually to get that to that level.
Gotcha. Perfect.
So now that we've said, all right, that we want a 12-week offer. Now let's think about the pricing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I always correlate, what price would you like to sell it at?
I would say anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500
for the 90 days, right? Okay. Now, so let's go top end 2,500. Okay, let's say top end 2,500 for 90 days. Okay, this is to where. So how right now you don't have a sales funnel for this, right? This hasn't been something that you haven't even put a price out there to people, right?
Mm-mm.
So we want to be able to say, okay, let's get to a page where we can say, all right, let's say 2,500. But our first goal is, I always talk about to pricing, but the first goal is to get reputation, right? How do people start knowing that you are the productivity coach, that you're the guy that people need to come to, right? So that is the main thing, is that first we have to build out, even before we get to pricing, is how do we get a entire sales funnel, right? So if we're saying that, and I'm going to tell you what I've looked at all pricing, that you have to be at $3,000, right?
Yeah.
And because of ads, because of things, when you're running it, right? So but at the beginning, you're going to be lower than that. I'm saying you want to get to the baseline you want to get to is $3,000, right? Because you can't, if they don't have any, it's very hard to get people to jump over that hurdle of saying, hey, I'm going to commit $3,000, and they don't know, like, or trust you.
Yes.
Right. It's like the first time it's like, oh yeah, all right, so jump on the sales call, $3,000.
Yeah.
So the first thing we need to do is think about, what are we going to do for marketing? How are we going to become known as the productivity coach? Do you have any ideas yet? Mm-hmm.
Oh, got it. Yeah. So as far as the ideas that I have around that is, I was going to actually brand a brand new page starting from scratch because of how the algorithms are set now. So the algorithms are actually very nice and very, I guess, friendly to even newer profiles that are niche specific.
Mm-hmm.
And so with them being niche specific now, with me starting off something through in the productivity niche, it would gain traction more quickly than if I took the followers that I had currently and tried to bring productivity to them. So the current following that I have now, they know me for trading. They know me for being a Christian. They know me for being a father. Like, they know me for all those reasons. So naturally, again, with all those things, productivity is a part of that, because it's like, okay, how do you kind of get those things done in the same day? Like, how do you homeschool your daughter and work at the same time? And you guys have school 5 days out of the week, and then you still have to get your work done. Like, how do you do that? And so it naturally begs the question, but I've just never presented to anyone an offer outside of teaching people or helping people to learn how to trade, if that's something that they desire to do. And so what I would do is I'm going to create a brand new page all around productivity, doing the hard things daily, like that sort of a type of a theme for the page, and then continue to grow that page organically, as well as through sending people that are current followers who are interested in that, tagging my larger page that has over 10K followers there. So kind of sending and funneling people to the newer page that's going to be created, while continuing to grow that page organically as well from people that don't know me, that would be interested in knowing me, off of kind of using some different ideas and using different graphics that would gain traction there on.
Is to create a content topic, right? How could we break out all of your topics and say these are all the topics for productivity? What would be the buckets of productivity that we could break out?
The first ones that kind of come to mind for me now are kind of like the different aspects of life, as far as that we kind of uh, know as the big three. Like, so the health, the wealth, and relationships. So it's kind of
Mhm.
like, and looking at productivity through those lens, as if you're looking to become more productive with your finances, a better uh, a better steward of your money, a better um, you know how to budget better, you know how to manage your finances better, through as far as your health, and really learning what the things are to be doing, because there's a lot of misinformation out there and things go viral really quickly nowadays. And so
Yeah.
even if something is wrong health wise, people will start to believe it and think that something has health benefits that it doesn't. And so kind of like my past of being an athlete, like that is something that is beneficial because of the fact that I know those things that are helpful, those things that are beneficial, because of the fact that, and being an athlete for over a decade, like I had to learn what to put in my body, what not to put in my body, what's good for you, what's not good for you, why are things good for you versus not good for you, what do things, like how do different things metabolize once they get inside of your body, what do they change into, all those types of things. And then lastly, relationships. So it's like not just like relationships as in romantically, but more so relationships as in, again, kind of how I talked about with COVID. Like, so many people don't interact with other people, and many people don't realize that it's because like COVID changed the dynamic of personal relationships as far as interacting with people. um, and so with that, it's really important to understand that through the lens of, okay, how are your relationships fostering what it is that you have as goals? Because if the relationships that you have aren't fostering or helping you to achieve your goals, and you don't discipline yourself to, hey, this doesn't necessarily mean that I don't need to hang out with this person or talk to this person or associate with this person anymore. It just means that I need to make sure that whenever I'm focused in on accomplishing my goals, that this isn't a person that I'm contacting. I can contact this person in time that I've allotted as my free time, because this person, we don't align as far as goals. We don't align as far as vision for where we would like to see our lives in the future. It's perfectly fine, because that happens sometimes. But it's like, if you decide to spend your time with individuals that don't see themselves where you see yourself, what's going to happen is you're not going to achieve your goals. And it's not because you're not going to be clear about your goals. It's just because of the fact that your time and your relationships aren't conducive for what it is that you want to see for your life. And so with that, those would be kind of, I guess, the broader three categories. But I know that I can definitely, if given some thought as to like how each of these are implemented, I can come up with, yeah, at least probably like 25 different buckets of how these things navigate as it pertains to productivity, and specifically productivity, to be able to name these things, not only for just the marketing and advertising purposes, but also coming up with a sort of a classroom webinar type format, or whatever the case may be, to present these things so that people can understand the change that will take place by them going through the 90-day program.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm coming up with just pulling this out. We can think about content
Mm.
for this this, right? All right. So right here, you see that we have all of these different type of things. These are just different things that you can have for content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this is just a easy, of course, as you already know, we talked about AI and everything before, easy chat GPT selection,
Mm-hmm.
and then going through and culminating it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just wrote this up, but I always tell people before I go into ChatGPT, I like to say, I like to think about all the things that I want to write about first,
Mm-hmm.
then go there and put it in, right? A lot of times I
Yep.
think people will try to make ChatGPT think for them instead of people helping them help ChatGPT help them enhance their thinking.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So that's the caveat that I think that people will miss out on. They'd be like, oh, they just go to ChatGPT. I said, you're going to get the same answers that everybody else got. But
Yep.
if you go in there with your input first, you'll get different
Yep.
answers. So I didn't really want to dwell on this right here, where it was because these would just come up with content, and I was listening to what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But after this, like I said, just having a list out of what content buckets you are, and
Yep.
that's what we want to get broad at. Is we want to be able to have content all the time where people come and know. So my strategy is always to say, hey, let people see that you're the expert. This is kind of what I'm doing on these coaching
Mm-hmm.
calls, right? Is to be
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, you know what? Do I know what I'm talking about? And you only get two
Yep.
results, right? Either you know what you're talking about and people are like, yeah, I want that thing. Or people are like, yo, he doesn't know what he's talking about. You got to go get better,
Yep.
right? It's one
Yep.
of the two, right? So I tell people no matter which way I win, right? Because that means I just have to, oh, you know what? People don't think I know what I'm talking about. I have to go get better, or they know
Yep.
what I'm talking about and they're going to come see, hey, how can I get your service?
Yep.
So you putting out all the content and having that free content, right? So a lot of people, the new thing is, of course, is people are putting out massive amount of content
Mm-hmm.
because the real access is you being the accountability coach and helping them put that together.
Yeah.
I was reading a comment the other day and somebody said, why would I hire somebody and pay them thousands of dollars when I could just watch it on YouTube? I said, because there's nothing like having somebody look at your own specific situation. Once again, the doctor analogy. Yes, you can go look at all the things about reading an x-ray, about
Yep.
you can go learn
Yep.
all the stuff, but you won't know your own bones, right?
Yep. Yep.
Applying it to yours and then having an expert's eye applying it, right? Because we all have our own inner biases when it comes to us, right? A lot of
Yep.
times, that's why coaches have coaches, right? Because
Exactly.
you can think about it and say, hey, you know what? I may be an expert. A doctor doesn't say, you know what? I'm not going to go to a doctor. I'm going to fix it myself. The
Mm-hmm.
doctor goes to a doctor too, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
we all have to be able to realize that, and just in your focus is that to be able to become the productivity person to put out massive amounts of content,
Mm-hmm.
right? And to
Mm-hmm.
be able to get to there. Now, once we put out all of this content, we're just giving that as an assumption that we put out all of this content. We're going to, about health, about wealth, about relationships. And it's not about, and just giving the caveat here, making sure I'm saying correctly, that it's not about teaching you how to be healthier, teaching you how to
Yep.
be more productive. I mean, teaching you how to be, better relationships or even be wealthier. What we're teaching you is how to set goals and attain those things that you said, hey, I want to be healthier. How do I get the right research? How do I look for the right things? How do I make sure I'm setting the right goals? Okay, I want to be wealthier. All right, what does that look like? What does that actually mean? Right? Getting clear on the definitions of things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's where you coming in and being their productivity coach and giving them a system and coming in is what they're actually hiring you for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So once we have the content out there, now we need a master class. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So once we have the master class where we're saying, okay, the ultimate guide to productivity,
Mm-hmm.
everything you need to know about productivity. Because what happens is that out of your audience, 1,000 people watches it, but only 10 buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get a 1% conversion rate off that. But that
Mm-hmm.
right there is if I'm saying how can I actually get to the people to say who would
Yeah.
be the people that would actually buy because they understand the value of me coming in and
Yeah.
being on them.
Yes.
And that master class would allow you to do that. All right. And
Yeah.
right now, you have a CRM already, right?
Yes. So I do. I use so I have both Go High Level, and
Hmm.
I also have an account with Keep. So
Okay.
I have
Yeah,
Keep and Go High Level.
yeah, yeah. So I was a Keep certified when I was there. It was Infusionsoft, so I was a Infusionsoft certified partner. Go High Level is my go-to right now. Um, I and I have a love hate relationship with all of them, right? You got to have a CRM,
Yeah,
as my marketing guy, Ketter always says, yo, if you don't have a CRM, you don't have a business, right?
yeah, yeah,
And and I always, but I'm just asking so that so we have a way to set up a funnel already, right? And a funnel is, I say it's a client journey. People understand the word funnel more, but it's just, what is the client experience going through from not knowing you to becoming a client? How do we make that? How do we get that out there? And we've
yeah,
already started with what we call top of the funnel, which is top of the experience. They don't know you. You're a total stranger. They've never heard of you before. And the only reason is because what we're saying, they're problem aware, right? They're like, oh, you know what? Um, I know about productivity. I want to be more productive. Now I need to go find an answer. And I'm searching the internet and they come across you, right? And those videos have to be transformative. They have to be like, oh, you know what? Everything he said about productivity, right? And people, I've been on the path of productivity, and I just came to understand that if I didn't have a coach, if I didn't have somebody, and not a coach, but somebody had me accountable, somebody that had me, that I could bounce ideas off of and get out of my head with the productivity, it was a lot harder. It was a lot harder than if you try to go it alone, right? If you try to go it alone, it's very difficult because it's easy to lie to yourself, right? But when you have to show up and talk to the other people, it's a lot better.
yeah. Exactly, exactly.
So dealing with that, with the productivity, having that, dealing with the productivity, having the top experience where nobody knows you, being found on YouTube, getting into the master class where we're like, okay, now we have a master class where we're teaching the ultimate guide to productivity, the ultimate guide.
Mhm.
That goes back to, what do you think is the biggest problem that people have? Like, what's their biggest frustration? And we always say there's an internal, external, and philosophical problem, right? So
Yeah,
what's their external problem about productivity?
I think most people feel like they don't have enough time in a day.
Okay.
The issue with that thought, though, is that the amount of time in a day would never change. You can't go and get more time. Um, and so um, that is that feeling of there's not enough time in a day. I wish that there were more time in a day. So now what happens is I'm able to come satisfy that feeling by helping people streamline, become more efficient, because you can't add time to a day. But what you can do is get more things done and accomplished in a day because of the fact of you had this concentrated effort in different directions at different points of time, kind of as far as like blocking off different aspects of your day in order to accomplish the task and the goals to get yourself further to where it is that you're looking to get to, depending on what each individual's goals are.
So, and then internally, right, when they're not productive, right, when they're not productive, how does that make them feel?
So it depends on the category. So it can kind of feel like a person's a failure, makes them feel like they're behind, feels like they're losing. If it's in business where it's like, man, my competitor, it's like they're doing all these things that I need to be doing. I'm not doing those things, but I just feel like it's not enough time for me to do all those things that my competitor is doing and continue to keep up what it is that I'm doing as far as on the business side of things. So it just depends on which category. Health on the health side of things, it looks like people who want change to happen, but they aren't. So one, it could either be the lack of discipline, or two, it could just be the lack of knowledge, where it's like I don't know what to do as far as to change my sleep patterns, to change my sleep habits, to get better sleep, to get actual REM sleep, to actually be able to get to the gym and do the things inside the gym that would actually make the gym the most efficient part of my day, where I'm not having to be in there for 2 hours or an hour and a half. It's like I can go in there and within 40 minutes to an hour do the work that needs to be done in order to see the changes physically that I want to see. And so, because people are often shocked when I tell them that, yeah, the most time that I'll spend inside of the gym on any given day will probably be around that 45-minute range. Like, I'm not spending more than 45 minutes inside the gym when I go. But it's because when I go, like, I'm doing gym things that will make my body look a specific way, that are very specific. And so, again, productivity, efficiency. Like, okay, what is the most efficient way to go to the gym? Like, it's every aspect of life. Like, what is the most efficient way? What is the most efficient way? What are the ways in which I can get the most time back? Because we can't create time. So if we can't create it, how can we get it? And so that's how I live my whole life, which is kind of how this accidentally came about. Like, I didn't. It kind of found me. And so I just live my life in that way. Like, I'm always looking to get time back, because I know that you can't add more time to a day.
Yeah, definitely. Just being more efficient, right, with what you're doing,
Yep.
being more intentional.
Yep.
And that's all content right there, right? Because those, and I'm just bringing those out because it's not just the, hey, 1, 2, 3 of this is how you be more productive. It's also what are the fears, the frustrations, talking to their pain points, talking to everything that they're doing, that was going on. All those things is what people are like. How do I be more efficient in there? How do you do that? When I go to the gym, I lollygag around and I talk to my friends and you know what I'm saying? I say hop and I don't know which weights I'm going to do, and those things like that, right? When I go eat, I don't know what to go shop. I don't have a shopping schedule, things like that. And just
Mhm.
having that just understanding those things right there, talking to those processes, right? And talking to those different methods, of course, and then just talking to the different methods of productivity, right? What is your situation, depending on your athlete, depending on your entrepreneur? How hard do you want to go? What are you willing to sacrifice, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are all different questions that you would have, that I have, that I've always, and I think to myself, because I would be an ideal client, and thinking about it in the bucket of, hey, how would I, these are internal things that I struggled with before, where I was like, okay, how do I be more efficient? How do I stop these things? How do I cut out bad habits?
Mhm.
A lot of questions that are being answered.
Mhm.
It's what we have to answer on there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just to clarify where we're at right now, we started with the offer,
Mhm.
which was, and then I'm going to put these in the show notes. Everybody will have a document where it's like, hey, what is the offer? What is our strategy and everything? And the offer, of course, is the 90 day program, Watson's productivity program. And then from those 90 days, and in those 90 days, what you would do is you would have a complete productivity system, right? Where it's like, where, we need a sales page for that. So how do we have that offer? And then the back end offer would be monthly coaching, where you could say, hey, I need one-on-one or group coaching, whichever one you choose to pick. Of course, the group coaching would keep your option. And then every quarter or every 6 months to have an event where we do lead generation. Everybody who's on our list, past clients, current clients, and anybody who's on our email list to be able to be on our events list, to come to our events. And those pricings would be free for current members, half price for former members, and full price for people who are on the list, right? So does that sound like a clear offer for you?
Mhm. Very clear.
Okay, so we have that offer. Now, how are we going to drive traffic to that offer? We said what we're going to do is we're going to make buckets of content, right? We're going to create massive buckets of content in health, wealth, and relationships. And then we're going to talk to the external, internal problems of each one of those. How do we make sure that when we're talking to people that they can feel not only why they should be more productive, how to be more productive, and to resolve the feelings of what we're talking to, why they're feeling this way, and how do we overcome that, right? So we have the problem, and then we have the action item behind it. I would say, what's the problem? What's the insight to it? And what's the action behind it? So it's like, hey, you're feeling, You don't know what to do. Well, the insight is you don't know what to do because you're overthinking it, or you haven't come up with this plan. This is the action item right here. So in every video, we can just have what is the problem, what's the insight to the problem, and what's the action to the problem.
Mhm.
Then we're driving everybody to our masterclass, the ultimate guide to productivity. Hey, whether you come with me or you do it alone, here goes the ultimate guide to productivity. Why should you, if you want to go it alone, I've given you everything you need. If you would love to come to a group and gather together where we can all be strong, and then you want to come in and then you want to join our program, here goes the link below where you'll get accountability. You'll get one-on-one you'll get coaching, you'll get somebody's eyes on your problem, you'll be able to have. So these are the offer that comes in. We're giving away everything, but if you want to come and get the extra things that you need that only a human can give you, then this is why you're going to join the program.
Yeah. I like that.
All right, all right. Any questions? Any questions behind that?
No, that's absolutely really clear. And so I think the main thing for me would be as far as getting the masterclass itself completed,
Mm-hmm.
getting the 'cause I'm just thinking through the lens of action items. So
Mm-hmm.
masterclass completed, get someone hired to create the funnel, um, and then masterclass completed, funnel created, and then start running ads for it. Um,
Yeah. So, and then so that would be so. You're running ads to the masterclass, or you're running ads to what were you thinking about running ads
so,
to?
and that's what I was thinking as well, because even with what it is that you're sharing, I wouldn't need to run ads yet. I would just
No.
create the content and allow the
Yeah.
content to do that.
That's exactly. So you allow.
Okay.
So that's the whole point. You have an entire subscription base first, right? And
Mhm.
this is why my first thing to do would not be even to run ads. My first thing would be you have 10K people would be to go after those people and say, hey, I have a productivity and it's only 300.
Mhm.
All right, we were at the part of actually talking about um, the master class, the offer, and then you were saying the funnel. Continue on.
Yeah. So the creating the masterclass, having the masterclass um, uh, attached to a funnel that is created, and then from there have people go to the funnel from the posts, from the different social posts that are created.
Okay, so let's dive into that.
Mm.
Where because some people don't know what the funnel is, right?
Okay.
The actual, just thinking about what do we want to be able to say the master class, right? Which would consist of how the ultimate guide to productivity,
Mhm.
right? So we're driving everybody there. Now let's talk about the funnel part where you're saying is, so I tell everybody there's two things to a funnel. There's two journeys. There's the short journey, long journey, right? Somebody's the short journey is, this is the fewest people. They come to your page, they're like, oh, you talking about productivity. And then and they click the link to your masterclass, and then they sign up for a scheduled call, then they buy, right?
Mhm.
That's not usually how it happens.
Mhm.
So when people don't understand, that's why we call it a client journey and not a funnel, because what happens is people actually journey through everything. And research just shows that most people, they consume a lot of your content first. They want to, before they make a major decision, right? They buy
Mhm.
it, they come to your sales call, then they say, hey, I'll think about it. Then they go back and watch more content. Things get more
Mhm.
frustrating in their life. They're like, hey, I really need this productivity. Then they finally come back, after 3, 4, 5 months, 6 month journey, right? Of
Mhm.
just indulging in your content. So that part of the journey where we say that we're sending out content, we're doing the social clips, and people come to the masterclass, right? Once they sign up for the masterclass, there's two things that have to happen. Now is what kind of emails are we sending out after the masterclass, right? And the
Mhm.
other thing is that besides the masterclass, we need to have buckets of lead magnets, all right? Solving one specific problem so that we can, so even getting people to the masterclass, because And our masterclass is a long journey, right? So sometimes people don't want to even want the call, but how do I get people on the email list to keep them in the journey? Because a lot of people negate their email list, and then we can start having other ways of marketing. So how do we get people when we're talking about the last part of the event? How do we get people on the email list to even market them to come to the event, right? So we can have other different ways of generating revenue.
Mhm.
So, because a lot of times it doesn't, so high ticket is only going to be for a small percentage of your audience. Most of
Mhm.
your audience is going to be, hey, I have a course on productivity. I have
Yeah.
a workshop on productivity. Being able to have those other things, but we have to have a list, and the list come through lead magnets, right? So lead magnets, workshops, just hey, I'm having a live workshop on, how to have your most productive relationship, right? So how to get the most out of your workout in this workshop, right? And so we have to come up with all those things, and having a lead magnet. That's the other bucket that you want to have is a complete bucket of lead magnets. How to be your most productive, how to be your most productive in the gym,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
How to get the most out of your work, right? When you
Yeah.
when you go do deep work, how do you be more productive? And just having all those lead magnets for that part right there. So just because I just wanted to get clear on the top of the funnel so we can have the actual action items is that we have it where we're saying, hey, we build a lot of content. Then what is the call to action? Hey, if you want to check out the masterclass is not a masterclass that have to be opted into because a lot of people don't want to opt in anymore, right?
Mhm.
But the opt in is for the lead magnets. Hey, if you want this lead magnet, it's something that consumable right now and it gives them value, right? It solves a
And
specific problem
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So that is what you want to be able to have is when people say, hey, when you're talking about you have 10 lead magnets, but all your videos will be around all of those subjects. So it's like if you're talking about health, you're like, hey, and if you want to get the our lead magnet on the ultimate guide to be your most productive health wise, or in your gym or whatever it is, get the lead magnet down below, right? And
Mhm.
that's how you keep people on the list of who you are, what you do, and what's going on.
Mhm.
The next thing, once we have those lead magnets, so we have the top of the funnel, we have the lead magnets, we have the masterclass, right? Now we have to have all of our follow up inside of the, and I'm going to give an example of this page right here. So this is one of our businesses. So, of course, I have the business operating system, and this is would be an offer page that you can have totally dialed in for people when they have the offer. What is your business about, right? So and then this page right here where you're driving people to about the page, and it
Mhm.
would take them totally so they could have an entire understanding of, hey, this is the payment link, this is what it costs, this is what this is what you're going to get, right? What we're going to be able to do. So this right here explains everything to people about what they have, right? And
Mhm.
just having that system in place, where you can where when people come to your masterclass, when people come to your email, they're always having an offer. They're always having an offer to be able to just come through and go back to that, and that sheet is always there, so they can always buy. And also we have dual buttons if you want to buy or if you want to have a sales call, right? If you want
Okay.
consultation, if you want, so that they can say, hey, they may want to buy right from that page. They may not need a sales call.
Yeah.
They may want to talk to somebody, and just having those two things. But having an entire document, that would be my first thing to do is take what we talked about here, having an entire document of what the productivity program is about, right? What will you get in it? What's the overall? So starting off with the overall results. Hey, this is what you're going to get from the productivity. This is what it'll be. Then, of course, a who are you? Who is Mr. Watson, right? And it's like, hey, I'm Matt Watson, and this is what I've been doing for the last 5 years, helping people with productivity and getting people to that level. And then documenting the step by steps. Hey, week one, we're going to be doing this. Week two, we'll be doing this. Week three, we'll be doing this. And I just want to go back to it. You had a question?
Mm.
Okay. So, and then having this back here. So we talk about everything you'll get, right? The hiring, employee life cycle. And then what would this look like, right? Then then we talked about all the meeting rhythms. All right. So this just tells everything that you would get and what the process is of each part that goes through this, right?
Mhm.
And that's what you want to write a document for so that people can actually understand what's going on with that document, what is here, and what is that.
Perfect.
Okay. So we have everything. Just uh, I'm going to give a concise of where we're at. Top of the funnel, which is top of the client experience, which is having all the videos we can about productivity, every aspect, everything that you can pour out of your mind over the next 2 years, right?
Mhm.
Just about productivity to become, the number one person that people come to in the space. Number two is having the lead magnets that people can consume that will get them on our email list so that they can start emailing, that we can start emailing them. Writing out emails that are going even deeper into your productivity, where you're able to talk about all things productivity in your emails, right? Things that they can't get to inside of it. Number three, having a master class, making sure that master class is able to be something that people can consume. That is the ultimate guide to most in-depth thing that you can do to show them how to be productive in an hour time, right? Just being productive with the productivity masterclass, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's what you want. And then having an offer page where we have the entire offer documented of what the productivity program is about. We don't have to talk about the back end offer; they can get that on the back end, right? We can talk about that there. But just having the entire offer of what we want to do on that back end offer, and going from there and making sure of that.
Perfect.
All right, is that all clear for you right there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely have my homework. So
That was
yeah.
implementation time, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just
Yes.
execution now, right?
Exactly. But and to be clear, like it feels really good to know exactly because again, I'm a person that's all about efficiency. So it's like to know what to implement, to know what to do, to know what action items, what steps to take. It feels incredible.
All right. So I mean, once we create all this, we can sell. We know that we can take on a client, right?
Yeah, exactly,
We know that we
exactly.
can take on a client. We know that we have it there, and then the like I said, and the other thing is just when you have all of that, is making sure that you have your process of delivering it, right? Making sure that how am I onboarding, how am I delivering it, what does the 12-week program look like, in efficiency.
Yep.
That would be. But as I said, if I would might first offer to people would be to get a beta program in there. $300, $400, even taking the people you have now and saying, hey, we've been doing it this way, but I want to go through the beta program with you
Yeah.
and taking you
Yeah.
and let's not just do an ad hoc, I've written out this entire program, which is the first thing. I've told them about all these things, but the real first thing that you have to do is write out what this program is. How are you going to deliver this program?
Yep.
That has to be the first thing, because you don't want to sell it and then not be able to onboard anybody. I've been in that situation where it sounds great in your head, but then when you start onboarding people, you're like, what? How do we actually deliver this? And you're making it as you go, and then they feel confused, and then we're not delivering it good. So that's what we
Yeah.
want. We want to make sure that we're onboarding and making sure that we're delivering that process with excellence.
Yes. 100%.
All right, Mr. Watson, I'm leaving it up to you. Do you have any questions before we go?
No. So the only thing for me would be kind of like the meeting notes to make sure I didn't miss
I
anything
got
because I
you.
was taking.
You'll have
Yeah. Perfect.
everything. There's going to be a document. Like I said, under the meeting notes when I post this, everybody it'll be shared. People will be knowing what's going on. So
Yeah.
that'll be the exact meeting notes. I have all of these things. All right.
Yeah. And so I guess my only question would be is time frame. When should I get this done and have this done by as far as the lead magnets to writing out the entire program, everything like how much time, what is the what goals should I set for myself?
I would if you so how much time do you have to work on it every day?
Li- I'm one of them. Like I'm one of those ones that's
Listen, you
like
should be
I'm
up
gonna
and
make it
running.
happen. Like if I hear a goal, I'm setting it. Like I'm one of those.
I got you. So you can have. So I would have. So this is what I would. This would be my catalog. I would have. I would have at least 10 videos that I have. Right. This would be 30 days. I
Yeah.
want 10 videos is the main thing to have that you. When I say 10 videos, I'm saying that 10,
Long
15
form.
to 30 minute long form videos
Yes.
for YouTube to be split up between YouTube, Instagram that you can be able to share. Right.
Yep.
Then 30 days for the rest of the stuff. Hey, I want to have at least 3 to 5 lead magnets, right? Five would be great. Three is the minimum, right? Having a master class that would be able to say, hey, this is my master class. Having a sales page and that document is a sales page, right? So when I say a sales
Mhm.
page, that document and that page is writing out everything that you do, who you are, right, what they're going to get out of the program, and when if they want to buy or if they want to have a phone call, and then having a
Mhm.
platform where you're going to host it at. So 30 days, you should be able to have all of this up. If you go
Yep.
hard, you could. I mean, you're saying it like that. I'm just saying that
No, it's the no, no. This 30-day project.
I got
It's
you.
30-day
Yeah,
project.
that's
Yeah, I got this.
all right. So yeah, we can definitely, and you can have it up and running, and that way you're actually just going out to people and we can go over it. And if you want to, we can go over and say, hey, this is what it looks like. This is what we
Mhm.
have. I would love to do another call with you um, over the next. You know what I'm saying? When you're ready, you be like, hey, I want to see what's
Yeah.
going on, and I can go look over it. All right.
Perfect. Nah, that sounds great. It sounds excellent. Perfect.
All right, man. All right. If you ain't got nothing else, then I guess that I'll let you get back to your Sunday, man.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we actually getting ready to get dressed now to head over to church, and
Yeah.
so yep. So I'll be back later on today. Probably work on this a little bit as well towards the end of the day. If I don't get a chance to get to it today, as far as throughout the day, then it'll be nighttime once I get her to bed.
So you,
So
you already know what to do.
yeah,
Today's the
but
14th. We got 30 days, man. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see you in
listen,
August. All
yep,
right.
exactly. August 14th.
Okay. They put a date on it. All right. 2024.
Exactly.
But we don't think it's
Exactly.
August 14th next year, 2025. Nah, you did
No, 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 not at all. No, I got August the 14th. This is right here now. That's etched in. That's locked in for me. August 14th. So,
That's what's up, man. All right, man. Stay focused. Stay blessed, man. Thank you for having me on. All right.
yes, sir. Thank you so much as well. And so I look forward to getting those notes.
Oh,
And like I said, so I got the goal written down now of August 14th.
one
So I'll
more
get
thing. If
that.
they want to find you for productivity, where can they find you at?
So right now you can find me on socials. As far as right now, I'm actually looking to build a YouTube page. But right now on Instagram, you can find me at I always add value. So that's simply just at I always add value on Instagram. And so, yep, you'll find me there.
Okay, that was so you guys know if you in the productivity and all the other things he got going on, right? You know, just about being a man of God, you know, raising his daughter, all the other productivity things that he has going on too, right? So you can learn a lot just by watching him, how he's being productive. And you can go there. Of course, my name is Clive at the Black Businessman on YouTube _ at the Black Businessman on Instagram. And we will be there, man. Thank you guys for being here and looking forward to the next episode. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, peace.
All right.